what they got has the deputies and even
There was a child playing alone by the water's edge. That child never made it back home. Instead, something rose from the river, Japan's traditional yokai, the kappa. Though often turned into cute mascots, its true nature is anything but lovable. Written in Chinese characters, kappa literally means river child. True to that name, legend says it stems from the corpse of a drowned child. The dish atop its head symbolizes a scalped skull filled with stagnant water, and its detachable arms may trace back to how a bloated corpse's joints slip apart. Yet its appearance is oddly familiar, almost human. Green skin, a human-like frame, a bird's beak, and even a turtle shell. The kappa looks like an unsettling collage of many creatures. This is the sound of a kappa, recreated by a YouTuber. Have a listen. According to lore, the kappa steals the souls of humans or animals by reaching into the anus of those who approach the water. Once in its grasp, you're dragged underwater and never seen again. The kappa's head dish is always filled with water, and if that water spills or the dish breaks, it instantly loses its strength and dies. Thus, folklore says the surest way to defeat a kappa is to empty the dish. Amazingly, there are still shrines in Japan dedicated to kappa, and certain locales even display relics claimed to be kappa mummies. Some experts theorize the legend began with the Japanese giant salamander. Its habit of lurking silently under wet rocks and its appearance overlap with the kappa's imagined traits. Yet before all these theories, one fact remains clear. Rivers always hide something, and yokai are just symbols to pull that hidden thing into view. The Christmas we know is a warm tale of Santa giving gifts to good children. But in parts of Eastern Europe, especially Austria, southern Germany, the Czech Republic, and Hungary, that tradition is flipped on its head. Bad children are stuffed into a sack and abducted. The yokai who always accompanies Santa is named Krampus. As Christmas nears, locals prepare a parade of this creature. A horned face, leathery skin, and a tongue that droops to its knees. Children fall into terror at the mere sight of it, turning the festivity into a real-life nightmare. A warning symbol, obey or be taken. Yet Krampus was even more brutal. Legend says he never lets the abducted children out of the sack. Because of this horrific aura, nowadays Santa usually appears alone, but historically, Santa always traveled with Krampus. Even today in Austria and Germany, people dressed as Krampus still roam the streets at Christmas. This custom, half festival, half warning, lives on between fear and tradition. Amazingly, Krampus later inspired SCP-4666, the Yule Man, and directly influenced various horror movie characters. The light of Christmas always arrives with darkness, and something still breathes in that dark.
Isn't this basically Grandpa Satan?
Yet some say he's more important than Santa himself. In places plagued by juvenile crime, he's a necessary figure, they claim. After all, he only takes you if you misbehave. The Wendigo, a taboo monster from Native American lore. Sunken eyes, flesh so emaciated that bones tear through skin, lips rotting and ragged, the stench of beasts and corpses wafts from its body. Legend says the Wendigo can never be sated, no matter how many humans it devours. In endless hunger, it hunts humans without cease. On fierce blizzard days, the Wendigo is said to freeze people to death. Thus, elders warned never to enter the woods during heavy snow. This is a Wendigo soundscape, recreated by a sound design YouTuber. Give it a listen. It truly sounds like a horrifying creature, but scarier still is the fact that this monster is not merely something outside us. Tradition says a human who commits cannibalism becomes a Wendigo. In other words, the Wendigo is not a monster that comes from outside, but one born within humans themselves. The tale likely served as a deterrent against cannibalism, yet its imagery remains vivid and terrifying. In more recent retellings, the Wendigo is said to mimic the voices and faces of its victims. It calls out from afar, "Mom, is someone there?" Those lured by the call never return. People vanish after following a familiar voice, a chilling concept, an unknown entity mimicking human speech. The deeper the forest's darkness grows, never answer the voice calling your name.
Someone should start a Wendigo Voice YouTube channel. It'd blow up.
It was a single photograph. A beast with bull horns lay slain, a hunter standing by its side. In 1893, this single photo threw America into an uproar. The creature's name, the Hodog, a legendary yokai from American folklore. Tales of it still circulate in northern Wisconsin. Huge bull horns and a spine lined with curved spines. But more terrifying than its looks is its origin. Legend says the Hodog sprang from the ashes of animals abused and killed by their owner. A vengeful amalgam of lives ended in misery. In 1893, American hunter Eugene Shepard claimed he captured a Hodog and released a photograph. The image spread instantly, and the Hodog was even exhibited at fairs. But before long, it was revealed to be nothing but a sculpture. People were fooled, and the Hodog became one of history's most famous hoaxes. Yet strangely, Hodog sightings continued afterward. Some even posted Hodog videos shot on smartphones. Villagers reported unknown animal howls, prompting nightly patrols with rifles. Was it really just a prank? Or did something real latch onto that fabricated image? Somewhere in America's deep woods, the Hodog might still be watching someone.
With AI tech these days, you can't trust any footage.
Minotauros, a man with the head of a bull from Greco-Roman myth. Though imagined for millennia, this being remains one of the most grotesque and brutal monsters. Its origin is among the most disturbing tales in myth. King Minos of Crete becomes king with help from Poseidon. Poseidon commands him to sacrifice a bull sent from the sea, but Minos likes the bull too much. He breaks his promise, offering an old sick bull instead. In return, Poseidon casts a dreadful curse. The queen of Minos falls in love with that bull, and not long after, the queen gives birth to a strange creature from the union. That creature is the Minotaur, upper body of a bull, lower body of a man, with an instinct to eat human flesh from birth. Imprisoned within the palace, he devoured every tribute offered. So the myth goes, he was not a monster, but a punishment. Yet some archaeologists and scholars interpret it differently. They suggest the Minotaur symbolized a real person treated as less than human, or a criminal sacrificed in ancient rites, depicted allegorically. In the end, the Minotaur may not be just a mythic beast, but a dark mask hiding historical truth.
Hearing that, the Minotaur almost seems pitiful.
The dead goat's neck had 2 puncture holes. Not a drop of blood remained. People whispered, "A vampire has come." The Chupacabra, an unidentified entity that terrified the world. This legend began in 1995 in Puerto Rico and soon spread to the US, Canada, Latin America, Australia, and New Zealand. Seen across the globe, people dubbed it the planet's yokai. Its calling card is clear. Dead livestock bear 2 fang marks on their necks, their bodies drained completely of blood, hence the name. Chupacabra means goat sucker. Fear in Puerto Rico reached a peak, and rural towns even offered bounties to capture it. In the early 2000s, even Europe reported that chupacabras spread mad cow disease. But did the creature truly exist? Many zoologists analyzed captured chupacabras and found they were mangy bears, sick coyotes, or feral dogs, or mutated bats and canids. Yet their appearance remained bizarre. A hyena-like humped back, coyote-like long legs, and eyes and snouts that looked almost alien. So some still say, the chupacabra is an alien, or it's a creature created by US government experiments. Why? Because Puerto Rico housed large US Navy and Marine bases in restricted zones. Could something have escaped into the forests? If so, the chupacabra might not be mere folklore, but traces of a failed experiment someone wanted to hide.
The real mystery is why footage of aliens is always an awful quality.
They say anyone who sees the creature dies within weeks. In a West African swamp, there lurks a beast said to kill by mere sight alone, the legend of the Ninki Nanka. Eyewitnesses can't agree on what it looks like. Some say a giant crocodile, others describe a winged serpent, or claim it breathed fire. Somewhere between dinosaur and dragon, this being brings deathly fear wherever it appears. The most common description is a body as long as a crocodile, a neck and head like a giraffe, gazelle-like horns, 50 meters in length, and as thick as a grown man, is tall. How did such a form arise? Some researchers say this. Locals may have seen a crocodile with a dead gazelle in its jaws and misinterpreted it as a monster. But That's only one interpretation, because some who claim to have seen it later fell ill or suffered mysterious maladies, and they all insist what they saw was definitely not a crocodile. The creature's name is Ninki Nanka, something that is neither dragon nor crocodile, perhaps still lurking in some African swamp.
Africa sure has a lot of dinosaur-like monster tales.
No one bathes by the river anymore. They believe that man still lives there. One of Colombia's traditional legends, El Hombre Caimán. Literally, it means the alligator man. This creature is not mere fiction. In Plato, Colombia, a festival commemorates the legend every year, and a monument to the alligator man stands there. The bizarre story began with a fisherman. He had the vile habit of secretly watching women bathe in the river. Fearing he'd eventually be caught hiding in the bushes, he asked a shaman to turn him into an alligator, just for a while. Then no one will suspect me, he thought. The shaman gave him 2 potions. The red potion would turn him into an alligator. The white potion would turn him back into a human. Then one day, he accidentally dropped the white potion. Only a few drops splashed onto his head. He became a grotesque being, an alligator body with a human head. People screamed upon seeing him by the river, and no one bathed there ever again. To women, he was an object of terror. To men, a symbol of warning, and to children, a legend. If you go to the river at night, he'll snatch you. Astoundingly, the tale isn't just oral lore. Plato hosts an annual Alligator Man Festival, complete with statues and rituals honoring him, desire that crossed a forbidden line and an irreversible choice. El Hombre Caimán might still be somewhere in that river, gazing at the sky with his human head. In fact, a U.S. museum displays a mummy with a human torso and an alligator lower body.
Wow. I'm not sleeping for days after this.